Hi, I'm Bonnie Roseman, and I'm a realtor in Portland, Oregon. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why it's so important to think about how green or not green your house may be. We use a lot of energy in our houses. We need to stay warm. When it's cold, we need to stay cool. When it's warm, we need hot water. We just water in general. We're using resources in our house all the time. So it's really important to think about that and try to make choices that reduce how much we use and extend the resources that we have. So having somebody come out and do some diagnostics on your existing home is a great place to start. They can check for air leaks and seal those up, add insulation and weather stripping, simple things that are not expensive. Make sure that your light bulbs are more energy efficient than, what you had hanging around from years ago. And make sure that, your water use is reasonable. I mean, everybody likes a long shower now and then, and that's okay. But if most of the time you're kind of keeping your eye on turning the light switch off when you leave the room, well, why not just put in a light bulb that also uses less energy when you need to have it on? And these energy features are in every part of your house. You just need to be informed so that you make choices that make sense, from the crawl space all the way up to the roof and your insulation and your ductwork. Every part of your house you can make green choices. You might say, well, why does it matter whether or not your house is green? And there are multiple reasons. For one thing, your pocketbook. Everybody cares about their budget, and saving resources means saving money. So even if you might spend a little bit more, for example, you get a higher efficiency water heater, it is more expensive than a water heater that doesn't factor in how much energy you're using, but over a few years, you'll make that money back. Sometimes you'll be ahead. And also when you go to sell, the next person, as more and more people are becoming concerned about the environment and understanding that our usage does make an impact, they'll pay more for a house that has green features in it. Not only the money, but you'll also just feel good that you're doing the right thing. I recently bought an all-electric plug-in car, and every single night when I plug in my car, I just feel so good. I'm like, I'm not going to the gas station. One thing to think about is how you feel in your house. Some things are really hard to describe. You just walk into a house and it feels good. But other things, you really can feel them. If you have a chill, when the wind is rustling and air is leaking out through the windows, you feel uncomfortable. So if you have your house well insulated, you seal the air leaks, maybe have some thermal windows, and keep it tight, then you will feel more comfortable. You also want to keep it really well ventilated so that your air quality is good. And if you conserve water, then when you go to take a shower and you use that hot water, it's there for you. If you just let things run all the time, it's just not as comfortable. You want to feel good. You want to bring in natural light, which makes you feel good in a space and saves you from using energy. Lots of people are kind of getting on the bandwagon of figuring out that it's important to think about the environment. And when you're buying a house, this is a critical time for you to be thinking about that. You want to choose a realtor partner who's well aware of the features that make a difference in terms of energy and water conservation in your house. And there are many different designations that agents can get. Some are local, some are national, just like there are different designations that the house can actually get. There are various criteria, and they get almost an award or a stamp of approval that they've met those criteria. So it's important to be very familiar with all of these things. So whether it's, I chose Earth Advantage, but there are many different green designations that agents can get, ask that question. Also, when you're buying a house that does have a lot of green features, it's important that the appraiser understand that as well. So appraisers can also get green certifications to help them understand how to see that added value from having those greener, more conservationist features in the house. When you go to evaluate a house and try to determine how green it is, first off, if you're lucky, they've already thought about it, they being either the seller or the listing agent of the house, and they may have these features easy for you to see. But in case you're trying to figure it out for yourself, every part of the house has things to consider. You want to find out where it's been insulated, as in the walls, the floors, the ceiling, and how much insulation. It's referred to as an R value, and you want to find out what that number is, and the higher the better. Then you also want to look at the water usage. Are the toilets low flow, or are they wasting gallons and gallons and gallons every time? You want to make sure you get a toilet that is low flow. You want to look at all of the different fixtures and appliances in the house. If it has Energy Star appliances or light fixtures, that's a very good sign that you'll be saving energy on those things that have that designation on them. You want to look at the type of roofing. If most houses just have a basic composition roof, but there are some special roofing materials, whether it's steel, there's even roofing made out of recycled tires. When you think about whether a house is green, it's important to think about, is it going to help you use less energy and less water? So you want to look at the windows and all of the materials. You also might want to think about what went into getting those materials there, especially if you're looking at a newer construction home. So if they're using materials that are renewable resources, that's great. Or if they're using things that are local. Otherwise, you've spent a whole lot of energy just getting that thing to you. So you want to think about the materials, where they came from, how they were made, what the ingredients are. Do they give off toxic chemicals? Because nobody wants to live with toxic chemicals in their house. So the more natural, the more energy consciousness went into the fabrication of the goods is helpful. And then where they came from and how they'll live when you're in the house. So you want high efficiency heating system, high efficiency water heating, thermal windows if possible, insulation and ventilation to keep the house breathing and healthy. Because one of the things that happens when we button up our house so tight is that if we don't create some ventilation, we create other problems for ourselves. So ventilation goes right together with increasing the energy efficiency of your home. I decided that the way for me to make a clear statement how I felt about the environment was to become an Earth Advantage broker and also to become a trade ally. Being a trade ally of the Energy Trust of Oregon really puts me in touch with other professionals in other fields so that when I need a green appraiser, I have a place to look. Or if I need somebody who can come out and run a blower door test to see how efficient a house is running, I'm connected. And you want to find an agent who is connected to those green resources. There may be local things where you live, and there are also national things. The National Association of Realtors has some green designations. And if you just type in green realtor into the browser search on your computer, you will find us. We do come up, and there are lots of different ways you can look it up. And you can go like to realtor.com and see who's got different designations, or you can find those local organizations like Earth Advantage here or the Energy Trust of Oregon and find agents who've gone out of their way to get more education and to become informed in how to be your partner in making your existing home green, choosing a home that has had green features added, or buying a brand new home built from scratch to be green.